What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So we finally have the Ford Mustang Darkhorse and Motorfest, man. I feel like a lot of players were excited for this car when they did show it, and then they actually found out this thing came out on the 31st, and they're like, bro, we gotta wait till the 31st, but luckily it's already here because, time is going a bit too quick. But I have to say, guys, this car really does look sweet. Probably going to be one of my favorite Mustangs besides the Mach 1. I love that thing. But which color do you guys actually prefer on this car? I do know a lot of people are probably going to like the regular Dark Horse color here, which I would say I do think this one does look pretty dang sweet on it. Also, funny thing, I have not seen a Dark Horse in person yet. I've seen multiple 24 Mustangs, but not a Dark Horse. Why? I guess a lot of people in Florida don't have them yet, or at least I haven't seen them. But for me, though, I did end up going with a red color on mine, leaving the calipers normal. And yes, this car does have customization. But I have to admit, guys, I did not end up customizing this car only because I left it stock. For some odd reason, I love the look of the Mustang, and I don't really see a point of changing stuff, even though I also respect having a crazy build on it. For this, though, we are going to have a good amount of customization. We have 8 hoods. We also have a good amount of 20 different bumpers. Well, technically it's 19 if you don't include the regular one on there. But you also see the horse on the front because it's the Dark Horse, not Katy Perry, no, the actual Dark Horse, bro. And yes, I'm getting cheesier with the jokes as days go on and I make content, so do be prepared to hear a lot more of those type of jokes. But luckily with the new Dark Horse, though, we are actually going to have customization that can be done to this car, unlike something from the Hyperion or the recently added GTR 50 Italia design. That thing obviously had nothing you can do to it, which honestly I understand, like that is going to be a new car, so like they probably don't want customization on it. But would you guys like to see more hypercars with more customization? I just feel like a lot of people look at something like a Mustang or even a Tier 1 or Tier 2 vehicle, and they're like, bro, there's 20 bumpers on this thing. We obviously have a bunch of rims, which I don't think anybody's going to want. Luckily, the regular colored rims on the Mustang actually look good, whereas the other rims look honestly awful. But moving over to the next thing, we have the caliper colors and also the side mirrors, and I just feel like that's one of players' favorite things to do. Funny thing is, recently, guys, I've been playing a lot of Need for Speed Heat, and I also do have content planned for that game, so do stay tuned for that. But I've been basically playing that game, customizing different cars, and you know what? It is fun, man. Like, I enjoy it. So I do understand buying something like a Mustang here, or even like an old Civic, and basically going crazy with the customization. I do feel like that's going to be a big part in those vehicles, really being able to actually upgrade them, whereas many of the hypercars you obviously can't even touch them. And also, this wing actually looks kind of nice on this car. It kind of reminds me of like a GT350 wing, or at least it could be something on that type of car. And then we obviously have this one, which does remind me a lot of the GTD one, and that wing is going to be absolutely ridiculous looking. A bit too big, at least I would think it is. After that, though, guys, we have 23 bumpers after that, so there's a lot of them. A lot of them basically are going to be a similar thing where they change that. Then you obviously have something. Oh, wait a second, I'm wrong. Normally they would change like the taillights from like regular smoke carbon and like regular, but no, bro, they actually changed the entire back of it. That's kind of crazy. Look at this. I'm actually genuinely surprised. They have a bunch of different bumpers, bro. Okay, now it's doing it. That's what I thought. There it goes. So that's what it normally does, guys. So you see like the regular, then you see like the matte finish, and then carbon, and also like the blacked out or like smoked out taillights. So I guess that does make sense. I am just happy to see this car have customization. Do let me know in the comments below, guys, how would you actually spec out one of these cars, like colors? What would you actually do to your Mustang if you were to get one? I'm kind of interested because everybody does have different tastes and stuff like that. Now, when it does come to the interior, though, for me, because the car is red, I would probably go with like a yellow type of interior, so something like this maybe. Or actually, bro, maybe I would go blue. Hold a minute here. Let's go blue stitching. That looks kind of dope. Alcantara, what we got? So we got, oh, look at that. The whole thing goes carbon, bro. Look at this. You have the dash. You also have the thing by the stick, which you can see this thing is a 6-speed. Love that feature, which, it kind of is. And then we also have the other part, which is going to be carbon on the left side of the dash there and the steering wheel. Really do love the detail on that. Then we also have the black finish there. Looks okay, but I kind of do prefer the carbon. Let's go with this one. Measly $3,000 on that, guys. Looks absolutely insane. But without further ado, though, let's go do a top speed test on the Mustang right now and also drive this. No, But without further ado though, let's go take this thing on a top speed test and a test drive, and also, let's jump into an event or two. So now spawning outside with the Dark Horse, guys, I did mention this in the Hyperion video and the GTR video, but man, Motorfest really has some great car models. Like, look how good this thing looks, man. It really does look very well, like the proportions of it, like it looks so realistic, and also, it sounds amazing. Now, I'm sure it's not going to be a surprise that the Mustang sounds great, because they really do have some amazing car sounds in this game, but looking at the interior, guys, I really do love the way that it does look. We obviously have the dash there with the gear indicator on the left. You can see your miles per hour on the right. You also see like the Mustang status there, everything's in normal, which we all do know driving this car you're not going to have anything in normal. But when it does come to the screen though, you obviously see like the horse thing on the screen there. You can then see like the Dark Horse thing on the right side, which looks dope. It's also going to be a bluish color. You then see like the carbon fiber all over this thing, guys. I really do love how this car looks. Gotta admit, I feel like a lot of players are probably going to be driving this car in first person mode and basically cruise around the entire island. It legit looks that good. Now, besides all that, though, let's go do a top speed test on the Dark Horse and see what this car can get to. Now, we all do know this thing is going to be a Tier 2 vehicle, so I'm going to guess the top speed right now. 238 miles an hour. Let's see if I'm kind of accurate. So it's obviously a 6-speed. Hitting my nitro chemist at here, not hitting anything. Let's see, so 244. Okay, 245. All right, bro, I'm wrong. 245 miles an hour. Now, a lot of people might look at that and go, well, Block, 245 isn't that quick. And the funny part about that, though, is you would be correct, because in the Crew 2, many of the cars back then actually did around 260 plus miles an hour, where we also had some of them hitting 270. I would say nerfing all the tier vehicles in this game wasn't a terrible idea, but it is a tad frustrating how many of the cars that you think wouldn't be quick are actually way too fast for their own good. Luckily, though, the Mustang is going to do 245 miles an hour. I'm very happy to see that. Where are my brakes at? Where are my brakes at, Guardian? I don't have any brakes now. That's good. So hopefully the brakes work a tad better. Might need to adjust them slightly, but 245 miles an hour, guys, isn't that awful. I mean, many of the cars do like 235-ish, so I would actually say the Mustang on a straightaway is going to be pretty dang viable. And also, it's probably going to be pretty dang fast on the highways. So on this event, though, I did want to put the difficulty on level 5 to, of course, torture myself with how the AI are. Do let me know, guys, do you like the AI in this game on level 5? I'm seriously curious on your thoughts. But I also did want to start this off with a muscle debate. Which muscle car do you guys like the most? It can be the Mustang, the Camaro, the Challenger, even the Charger. Which car do you guys like the most? I do feel like a lot of people might end up picking the Mustang. Then again, I feel like people like the Challenger and also the Camaro. Personally, I think I like all of them. Now, if I was going to pick one car, which one would I pick? Now, this is probably going to sound incredibly biased, but I would probably pick a Mustang. Why? Let me explain. So I do really like the 5.0 motors in these cars. I think they sound amazing. This is probably going to get some mixed comments and stuff like that, but you know what? I feel like Mustangs are some of the best sounding muscle cars. I love the way they actually sound. My neighbor actually has a brand new 2024 Mustang. It sounds so dang good, man. It's a convertible. Funny thing is, I could probably show a picture on the screen of the car that I actually have on here, which, by the way, looks just like his. That thing also sounds amazing. From what I do know, the car is stock. It's a 5.0 GT for that matter. And yes, it does sound amazing. Bro, what is in your Audi R8, man? Like, Fred is always so quick for no reason. I don't know why. He's always so quick. But when driving the 5.0 in this game, guys, they really did nail the sound on it. The funny thing is, I did like this car in Unbound, but you know what, though? I don't know what it is, man. I like Need for Speed Unbound, don't get me wrong. But I have to say it, I like Heat more. There, I said it, I had to. I just like Heat more, man. I really do. And driving the Dark Horse in Unbound, I do like it, but that car was so fidgety in some places. And you know what the annoying part was? Going around certain corners in that car, guys, was honestly pretty annoying. You would actually fly out of the corners, you would try to hit your nitrous, and then you would legit fly off the road, or the car would get fishtaily turning into a fidget spinner, and then boom, what happens after? You crash, bruh. You crash. But you know what though? That's okay because I do know a lot of people are still calling the Mustang a meme because it obviously crashes a lot. But I have to say something about that. Is it truly the car? Like, I do understand the car obviously has a lot of power, it's rear-wheel drive and stuff, and you probably are going to have some skill at driving to, not crash it. But the funny part is, man, people are still crashing Challengers, Chargers, Camaros, in basically every single car. I just feel like the Mustangs get a bad name, man. It really does come down to the driver of it, and I feel like that really does play a big difference. Am I actually going to lose to Fred, bro? I can't lose to Fred, man. I can't lose to Fred. Speed it up, Mustang. Get the Horse of Darkness in there, my dude. Speed it up, cuz. Speed up. Alright, I think. Really? Bro, look how fast this dude is. All the other AI are so far behind me, and somehow Fred is up here like, hey, yo, bro, I got the Audi up in here. And you know what? He showed me that. I guess the V10 in that car is really quick. Oh, I have to win it. I gotta win it. Yes! Okay, so final thoughts on the new Mustang Darkhorse. Do I like it? Yes. Is this car going to be the best Street Tier 2 vehicle? Honestly, that's probably going to be a tad debatable, but I feel like it's actually pretty good. I also do want to mention, by the way, I would end up doing some type of grand race test with it, which I might actually consider doing in the future with some of the new vehicles, but here's the issue. You can't actually pick the class you want to use in PvP, bro. Imagine being able to pick a Street Tier 2 vehicle. That way you can actually test it out. Wouldn't that be something? Imagine being able to pick a hypercar and being able to test that out. I would love that, guys, and I would definitely be doing PvP tests with them. So let's definitely hope they actually do it, because at the moment it's completely random, and you can also only drive that car during that event for a certain amount of time. Kind of frustrating, to be real, but I really do like the way the interior of this car looks. I like the dash on it. Still also hoping I do see one of these cars in real life, hopefully soon, maybe heading to a car show. Might actually have one of these show up at one of those. But I would say a lot of players might actually like the interior. Also, quick question, by the way, guys. Would you like to see the screen right in the middle of the thing there, obviously with the horse on it? Would you like to see something else on the screens in the game? Personally, I would say the cool thing would actually to have the main map there, instead of having like the mini map on the right side of your screen. Imagine having it on the actual screen in the car. And then obviously for the cars that don't have a screen, you have the map on the right side of the said big screen itself when you're playing. Wouldn't that be kind of dope? I feel like that would actually work. But overall though, guys, let me know your thoughts on the new Mustang Darkhorse in the comments below. Personally, that was a thunderstorm. I thought something crashed. Personally, I really do like this car a lot. I think it looks great. Easily one of my favorite Mustangs behind the Mach 1 and the GT350R.